Hi girls, it's Brittany with Eating Elephants, and if you guys haven't seen my last video, I am pregnant. I am 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant today, and I am just so incredibly grateful to even be able to say that, to be sitting here all bundled up in my bed, because I'm sick, because I'm pregnant. Yes, I'm grateful for the sickness, and we'll talk about that later. But this is going to be my 4-week update, so I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk about the week that I finished, not the week that I'm in. So I'm in the 5th week, but I am 4 weeks pregnant because the 5th week isn't over. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, as I said, my word for this week is just, I'm grateful. So, so grateful. I was at a place where I did not know if I could get pregnant. And, I didn't know if I ovulated all the time. I didn't know if my body was compatible with sperm. I didn't know any of that. So, I'm just so grateful. Now let's talk about how I found out. So, so today is Saturday, October 1st. So not yesterday, the 30th, but that last Friday before that. I was really, really sick. I ate dinner, went to the grocery store, and at the grocery store I bought some water because I was just parched for some reason. I bought some water, and as soon as I paid for my groceries, I stood there at the cashier's desk, or whatever you want to call it, and I just chugged that water. And after I did that, for the rest of the night, my stomach was killing me. My stomach was absolutely killing me. I went home from the grocery store, took a shower, tried to relax, got in bed. I woke up at around 2:30 maybe. I wake up at 5:30 for work. I work at a daycare now. So I woke up at about 2:30, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't go to work like this. I'm not going to be able to function at work with so much pain. So I told my husband I was going to go to the emergency room, see what they could do for me before it's time for me to go to work. So I went to the emergency room, told my husband he could stay home, it's fine, because it was so late at night, and I was really I was okay to drive. So went to the emergency room. They checked me in immediately because that's what they do when you have abdominal pain. They don't make you wait because it could be something life-threatening. So they bring me to the back. They take blood, and they say, okay, we're going to give you Bentyl for the abdominal pain, because from where it is, they could tell that it was probably my intestines that were hurting me, most likely. And they said they were going to give me Zofran for the nausea. So, and I said, look, I want to take a pregnancy test before I take the Zofran, because you guys, you've seen the commercials about if you've taken Zofran and your child has birth defects, blah blah blah, call this number. So I didn't want to do that. So I told them I was near the end of my cycle and I wanted to take a pregnancy test. So I took the pregnancy test, and they took blood to do blood work to see what's going on with my body and why my stomach's hurting so bad. And they came back, said the pregnancy test was negative, but we're still waiting on the blood test. So they gave me the Zofran and they gave me the Bentyl. So I laid there. I could finally go to sleep because the pain had kind of gone down. And I went into the restroom and just threw up everywhere. Like, I aimed for the toilet, but it didn't go just in the toilet. And I cleaned it up, of course, and I let them know that I had thrown up, and I cleaned it up, but it did get everywhere, so they should probably sanitize it, which I'm sure they do anyway, but, I just let them know. And so I leave, I go home, and they told me I can't go back to work that day just because I'm throwing up everywhere, and I had diarrhea as well. So I needed to stay home so that I have access to my toilet, and I could just rest and drink plenty of fluids and try to take care of myself. So I didn't go to work that day. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. During my last period, I decided that I was going to delete all of my period and fertility apps. I had a fertility friend, Ovia, and I had the just a regular old period app. So after my period was over, I decided I was going to delete those apps because they make me crazy. I want to watch and see where my cycle's going, what's going on with my cycle, and it makes me anxious. So I deleted them. Decided I wasn't going to look at them this entire cycle. I was just going to forget about it. So, and especially if you watch my last video, I knew my husband wasn't going to be home around the time that I was supposed to ovulate. So I was like, well, I might as well not drive myself crazy this cycle. So I deleted those apps, and I said I would put, when my period starts, I would bring them back up, and I would just mark my next period in them. And that was before I got my job. So when it came around the time that I thought my period was gonna come, I decided I was gonna pull the apps back up. I pulled up Ovia to see, when my period's due, so I can make sure I have, pads and my menstrual cup and all of that at work, because I don't want to, get stuck at work with my period starting, because you guys know I have really terrible periods. So I can't just ask, the girl next door in the classroom next door, does she have some pads I can use? I need huge pads. So I needed to make sure I had my pads and my menstrual cup at work. So I pull up the Ovia app and thinking it's going to say like cycle day 26 or 27, and I have 28 to 29 day cycles. And you guys, it was cycle day 30. And it was in the middle of the night, cycle day 30. In the middle of the night. So cycle day 31 almost. So I was like, holy crap, my period is late. OMG, like, I did not know what to do. So even though I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning for work, it was late at night and I just couldn't sleep. But I went to HEB and I got some pregnancy tests. Excuse me, guys, my eye itches. I went to HEB and I got pregnancy tests. I got first response pregnancy tests, and ran home. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take this in the morning. I'm going to take these tests in the morning. Wait till the morning. I'm going to take these tests in the morning. I've already peed tonight. I need to take it in the morning. And then I opened up and took one because I was so anxious. I just opened it and took one. And at first, and I watched the pee go across the screen, and I watched the control line come up, and I sat there and watched it for a little while. And there was no second line. So I was like, okay, cool. Because this entire cycle, I've been telling myself, you're not pregnant, don't freak out. You're not going to be pregnant, so don't freak out. Because my husband was not here when I was ovulating. So I kept telling myself, don't drive yourself crazy at the end of the cycle. Don't do it. You're okay. You're not pregnant, and that's fine. And I kept telling myself that while I was taking that test. So when it came up when it came up negative, I was like, okay. So then I was like, well, they say you're supposed to wait 3 minutes. I didn't wait 3 minutes. It was less than 3 minutes. So I go and around 5 minutes later, I go and look at it, and there was a line. Very, very faint. You guys wouldn't see it if I tried to show you. You wouldn't see it on the camera. So faint. So faint. So I got on my knees and I prayed. And I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, if I'm pregnant, because I wasn't convinced yet, I said, if I'm pregnant, please take care of this child. Please bless this child to develop normally and healthily, and for me to carry this child to term. And thank you so much for blessing me to be pregnant again. And I said variations of that over and over again to the Lord, because I was just so afraid. So I went to bed not under the assumption that I'm pregnant, under the assumption that, okay, I'll take a test in the morning and we'll see. Because it was such a light line. It could have been, and of course I Googled not evaporation lines. I Googled indent lines, and if they could have a little pink in them, because the line did have pink in it. So the next morning I took another test, and I say the next morning, but I took that first test at like 11, and then I took the next test in the morning at like 2 a.m. because I just couldn't sleep because I was so anxious about if I'm pregnant or not. So at around 2:30, the test was even lighter than it was at midnight because it wasn't a very long hold. And I knew that. I didn't let myself freak out about it being lighter because I knew it wasn't a very long hold, and so, you know, all that jazz. So, I try to go back to sleep. I wake up a little bit early for work. I run to HEB right before I go to work because I don't work in the town that I live in. I have to go to the next town over. So I go and get a digital test, the 2-pack with the digital test and 1 digital test, 1 line test, because those are less expensive. And I take the test to work, and I get to work at 7 a.m. At around 10:30, I took the digital test into the restroom, peed on it, which I don't pee on tests. I usually pee in a cup and dip it, so that was interesting. So I peed on the test and sat it down, and then I was going to wait for it to go so I could have some privacy, but somebody starts banging on the restroom door, so I'm like, oh crap. So I clean everything up real quick, and I put everything in my purse, and I was wearing scrubs. I put the test in my scrub pocket. So, I take the test I work with the babies at the daycare that I'm at, and I feed a baby with the test just sitting, burning a hole in my pocket. So I finished feeding the baby. I look down in my pocket, and I kind of turn the test a little bit so that it hits the light, and it said yes. It said yes, and I almost cried. I didn't cry, but I almost cried, and even now, you guys, I just can't believe it. I know I'm pregnant. I know there's a baby inside me right now. I know I'm probably going to carry this baby to term and deliver him or her healthily and be a mom in 9 months. I know that, but in my heart and in my emotional mind, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. It just hasn't hit me yet, you guys. It really hasn't hit me that I'm going to be a mom and that I'm carrying a baby right now. So I've been taking care of myself. I didn't bring my prenatals in here to show you, but I take New Chapter prenatals. They were really expensive, but they're really high quality, made with whole foods and dried herbs, and they have probiotics because some of the foods are fermented that they used. So it's a really good prenatal. I did the test where you drop it in a cup of water and see how long it takes to dissolve, and it dissolved very quickly. So it's a very, very good prenatal, and I would recommend it. And let's see. Symptoms. Of course, the severe abdominal pain. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. I got a negative pregnancy test at the hospital, and I think they, I don't know. That's a little confusing to me, but I guess it was just too early. But anyway, symptoms. So, of course, the abdominal pain. I have vomited a handful of times since then. I still have very bad stomach pain whenever I eat. If I eat something that baby doesn't like or my body doesn't like, or the main things that I can eat are apples, nuts, not just all nuts, almonds, kiwi, and dates. Those are the main things I'm eating right now, and then I'll try to eat 1 actual meal a day. Let's see. I've been nauseous, of course, because of the abdominal pain. And by the way, you guys, they're still looking to see why I'm in so much pain. That's not normal. You shouldn't be in that much pain. That's not just, it might be morning sickness, some related to morning sickness, but they're also going to check my pancreas, and they're going to check me for irritable bowel syndrome. So, next symptom is, you guys, this is weird, but water tastes nasty to me. The water that I've been drinking for at least a couple of years tastes terrible to me right now. It tastes like sewer water. And not just and you could say I got a bad batch, but I drink a lot of water, and I've been through 2 tubs of water since I've been pregnant. And looking back, even before I knew, water tasted weird to me, and I thought I got a bad batch, but I think it's because of pregnancy. And also, I work at a daycare, and I work with the babies, and I smell diapers when there's no diapers. While I'm at home, I'll smell diapers. I'll just smell that smell of a trash can full of dirty diapers. And I'm thinking about it now, so I smell it now. When I think about diapers, I smell them, and that is just insane to me. That's weird. As far as family who know, I told people at work and friends and stuff, because that's just easy. You know, they're not going to have this huge opinion about it either way. They're just going to be happy for you, you know, just regular old friends. And a few of my cousins who I knew would just be happy for me. And then I told my parents yesterday. I texted them. And my dad didn't like that I texted him that, but I just didn't know how they were going to react. So I thought texting them would be a little bit easier, so they could absorb it before they reply, if that makes sense. Like, they'll absorb it before they react, so the reaction is a real reaction and not an impulse reaction. So yeah, I texted them, and then my mom was at work, so she couldn't call me, but my dad called me and we talked, and they're happy, they're excited, and that's really exciting. And as far as I have a huge family, aunts, uncles, cousins. I have millions of them. Not literally millions, but a lot. And I haven't told a whole lot of my extended family. I'm going to a baby shower here in a little bit for my cousin, and I know there's going to be a lot of my family there. And I'm conflicted, you guys. I would love to just tell everyone at the baby shower, but I also don't want to. Excuse me, that's another symptom. I'm burping. And I don't like to burp in public, and I just can't help it now. But I'm pregnant, so whatever. But I don't want to steal her moment, you guys. I don't want to go to my cousin's baby shower and then make it all about me and my new little baby. You know, so. But some people at the baby shower are already going to know. So I feel like I can be as quiet as I want to about it, but somebody's going to bring it up. Or I'm the newest what? I was the last person in the family to get married. So I know we're going to get when are y'all going to have a baby questions, you know, that people ask. I know it. I know I'm probably going to get it from 3 or 4 people at the baby shower. And I don't think there's a way for me to keep it hush-hush until the baby shower's over. But I don't want to take her spotlight, because I want to be considerate. But if tell me how you guys feel about this in the comments. Even though your comments will probably come after the baby shower's over, but I just want to know how you guys feel about it. I don't think there's anything else for me to say except thank you guys so much. Thank you, new people who are watching this, because I know because of the title of this video, I'm gonna probably get a whole lot of new people who watch it and new subscribers from it. So thank you guys so much. My channel is still in the rough stage because I am technologically stupid. So I'm working on it. I really am working on it. And I'm just so excited to be pregnant. And you guys, don't give up hope. Even though when I started to give up hope is when I got pregnant. But, you know, just have faith. Actually, no, I didn't give up hope. I started having faith in the Lord. And not faith in the Lord that He was going to get me pregnant, but faith in the Lord that I was going to have a good life with plenty of children in my life, no matter if I have them myself or not. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being with me on this huge elephant that I'm eating. So I just love you guys so much. And thank you for watching. I think I've said thank you for watching 3 times. I'm very grateful for you watching. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Bye-bye.